Hey, what is going on, everyone? It is time for us to do round 3 of the New England states. So why don't we take a look at Rhode Island? It will be a very small look, so it'll be really quick. Rhode Island is small. It is actually our smallest state in the Union, ranking 50th in size. Being the smallest state, it picked up a cute little nickname, Little Rhodey. It also has another nickname. They're called the Ocean State, but Little Rhodey, I guess that makes more sense. They're so small. Rhode Island is so small, it's said that if you miss your exit on the interstate, any place in Rhode Island, you will be in another state before you find another off-ramp. That's an exaggeration, obviously, but if this does happen to you and you're heading west, you're going to end up in Connecticut, and my advice to you is stay on the interstate till you find something going northbound and get off in Massachusetts. Connecticut sucks. Everyone knows it. Rhode Island, if you look at it on a map, kind of looks like it belongs to Connecticut, or like it did at one point. It's almost like Connecticut lost a bet and lost some land. See how it is right here? Rhode Island is the 50th state in size. Like I said, they're 44th in population, and they are the 13th state, lucky number 13, to be admitted into the Union. And that happened on May 29th, 1790. Not too long after we became a country. The state has a high cost of living, which is typical for the northeastern states. Rhode Island also has a higher than average unemployment rate. They don't have a lot of room for people to move in there because they're so small. Not a lot of people leave there, so they rarely get people moving in there. It's weird. Some people still want to move there. You might be one of them. So if you're thinking about moving to Rhode Island, you should watch my top 10 reasons not to move to Rhode Island. Number 10. Not much beach time. Rhode Islanders are all about the ocean. They boat, they fish, they look at sunrises across the ocean. It sustains a good seafood industry, but they don't do much swimming in the ocean. Rhode Island's coast is freezing most of the year, so they might go swimming in the ocean maybe once or twice on the hottest days of the year, but that's about it. There's only so much shrinkage a man can handle. Number 9. Taxes. When it comes to taxes, Rhode Island is the 3rd worst in the nation. Much like their neighboring state, Connecticut, they kind of stick it to the residents. They're a little over 25% higher than the national average. Why does a state that small need so much money? They don't have the fewest residents, so they have more people to tax. They do have less roads than most other states, fewer bridges, fewer cops, and fewer natural disasters, unless you, of course, count ex-Providence Mayor Buddy Cianci. Number 8. They just don't learn as a state. The state of Rhode Island, and Providence in general, which Providence is a city but it takes up most of the state, had a mayor named Buddy Cianci. Buddy Cianci burned them twice. These people just don't learn. Buddy Cianci was the mayor of Providence from 1975 to 1984. He resigned in 1984 after he pled no contest, basically, they have some other term for it there, to assaulting a man who he thought was playing slap and tickle with his wife. In 1991, he was elected mayor again and was in office for over a decade. In September of 2002, Cianci was sentenced to serve 5 years in federal prison for racketeering and a few other charges and was forced to resign. And at another point, he was looking to rep Rhode Island in the Senate. Shouldn't they have learned after the first conviction? I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. It sounds like they're pretty loyal to the dude who's since passed away, but come on, people. Number 7. Potholes. The Ocean State has serious swings in temperature throughout the year. This wreaks havoc on the roads. All those tax dollars don't appear to be going towards any proactive programs on pothole eradication or anything like that. Is it just me, or does everyone spell check try and change eradication to erection? I'm never buying an open box computer again. Number 6. You better like seafood and Johnny cakes. Now, this is a theme for most coastal states, but it is really big in Rhode Island. They eat a ton of seafood and are really big into squid. I've never been a squid fan. It doesn't even sound like something you should eat, but they eat a ton of it there. Now, this isn't a big deal if you're from a coastal area, but if you're from the Midwest or Southwest, be prepared. They eat a ton of seafood. Now, like I said, Johnny cakes. They aren't pancakes. Pancakes are typically made from flour, eggs, milk, and butter, while Johnny cakes are made from cornmeal. They may look the same, but they taste way different. That's not really deterrent for moving someplace. Just be prepared. Number 5. It's boring. Yeah, it is. It's been voted several times as the most boring state. Ask anyone under the age of 50. Anyone over 50 will tell you that's false. This place is a blast because they love board games, reading the newspaper, and chasing kids off their lawn. Number 4. Accents. These people don't just have one accent. Now, again, this isn't a reason not to move here. It's just something to keep in mind, so stop typing. I always get a handful of those locals in every state or city video that find this one and they just latch onto it and they don't let it go. Let it go. I'm not making laws here, I'm making observations. Moving on. Their accent sounds like Boston sometimes and Brooklyn other times. It really sounds like a mix of 2 or 3 slangs mixed together with a smattering of F-bombs. Number 3. Winters in Rhode Island. Be prepared for winters in Rhode Island because they get bad and they can be pretty brutal. The average temperature between December and February is around 32 degrees, so snow is a definite possibility. Being unprepared could leave you without your car for a week when it gets buried in the snow. It snows here, and it gets bad quick. A friend of mine from high school, when she moved to Rhode Island from Los Angeles, she said the first thing she learned was in winter, make sure you're always wearing a thick sweater or a padded bra. She said that was the first thing she learned, and nobody told her about it, so she thought I should pass that on. Number 2. Depression. The smallest state in the U.S. is also the saddest. 9.46% of Rhode Island residents reported at least one major depressive episode in the past year. This is by far the highest number on the study. Now, this one's serious and I won't make a joke here, but it's bad in the Ocean State. They also have an extremely high number of people medicated for depression. This is definitely one you need to consider before you relocate to Rhode Island. And number 1, limited job opportunities. Recent college grads and people looking to relocate will have quite a hard time finding a career here. The largest employers in Providence are Brown University and Rhode Island Hospital. It's kind of competitive to obtain a job here in this state. Now, I brought up Providence because that's where 90% of the employers are in the state of Rhode Island. But living in a small state like this, you should already expect your job opportunities to be limited, but it's especially bad these days in Rhode Island. It's definitely something you want to make sure you have before you go to Rhode Island. Unless you're just looking to grab a fishing job, chances are you'll be able to find that there. It won't be as exciting as Deadliest Catch, but still, at least you get a job, right? Alright, so that's my top 10 reasons not to move to Rhode Island. Rhode Island is a beautiful state with great people. It's just got some problems like every place else. I'm just here to point them out. Don't forget all the links below. Everybody, have a great day. Be nice to each other.